A delicious recipe for the colder months is cassoulet. This is a hearty dish, and I'm making mine whole food, plant-based. Cassoulet is a dish that traditionally has pork, but of course, I'm not cooking with pork, so we're going to do a white bean cassoulet that's vegan. I'm going to start with, you can either use 3 leeks, or I'm going to use 1 leek and 1 onion. If you don't want to use leeks at all, you can either use 1 large onion, mine is kind of small here, or mix it up like I did here. So we're using celery. Typically we're going to do 2 large carrots, mine are kind of small, so I'm doing 3 small, 4 garlic cloves, and optionally, if you want, you can put in some chopped mushroom. In this recipe, you can use 2 15-ounce cans of white beans, like Great Northern white beans. But instead, I decided to cook up some dried beans. I had these in my pantry, and I'm just going to estimate how much of the cooked bean is going to go into the crock pot. Now, I've made this before where I've cooked dried beans according to package directions, fully cooked, and then put them into the crock pot, and then the beans got overcooked. So I'm just undercooking it. In fact, when you get to the cooking process, it says to simmer them for 1.5 hours to 2 hours. I'm only doing it for 1 hour. I just tested the beans, and they're just a little bit underdone, which is perfect. So before putting everything into the crock pot, we're going to actually heat up some of these vegetables with a little bit of vegetable broth. I'm putting in the leeks, onions, carrots, and celery. And after that cooks down a bit, then I'll add the mushrooms. And after that, I will add the garlic. Now the vegetables are in the crock pot, so I'm going to add the 1 can of diced tomatoes, 2 cups of vegetable stock, 1 bay leaf, some Italian seasoning, pepper, and a touch of salt, and the white beans. I'm going to give it a stir. I might put in more white beans. Here's the other optional ingredient, which I think takes it over the top. Now, I normally don't eat fake meat products, but the one I really like is by Field Roast, and they come in these sausages. I found this at my regular grocery store. It used to be you can only find this at Whole Foods, but this is the one called Apple and Sage. It's absolutely delicious, and I'll probably slice up 2 of these, slicing them in half lengthwise, and then chopping them into discs, and oh my gosh, it just is so delicious. This will cook on low for 4 to 6 hours. I'm going to check it in 4. Well, it smells wonderful in here, and it's been almost 4 hours, and I think as long as the carrots are done, then we're good to go. Now, I usually serve this over rice. It's delicious over rice or quinoa. I'm actually going to be freezing mine, and it does freeze really well and defrost really well. So I just spoon some out to have a taste test. You wouldn't think that Italian seasoning would give it the flavor it does. That and pepper. But it really is tasty. If you have some favorite herbs that you prefer, you can play with it and change it up a little bit. But it's a great winter dish, a cold weather dish that is just so good. And I'm also going to be making some chili, and I thought, I'm going to make this at the same time because I'm kind of batch cooking right now and putting some things away in the freezer for when I get really busy. And this is a great one. You can leave out the field roast sausage if you want, but really yummy. You can check out one of my other cooking videos by tapping its image on the right side of your screen, and I'll see you in the next video.